Okay, this is Sean and Nick Show, recording stuff for our book and our business. And right now we're going to discuss what objectives we want to accomplish from this meeting today. Nick, go for it. What do you want to accomplish?
I would love to accomplish a few base principles on how to create business and how to implement it to other people so they can learn from what we're talking about. First thing, we definitely need to know our vision for our entire business. We have an idea, we have concepts, we have contracts even being created as like right now with lawyers and attorneys reviewing our work. However, I just want to make sure that as a company vision, we understand why we do what we do and how we're going to get there. I think it's an important part, and I actually just opened my book for the book that I was wanting to write, and I think it's going to help to incorporate it for business as well, and it's called the Philosophy Formula Pyramid, and I know it's not my stuff, but I definitely have adopted it, so giving credit where credit is due, Dr. Patrick Gentempo, is the sole creator or founder or whomever who introduced this to me, is definitely something that I think will be beneficial for the future. And it's basic. It's simple. I'm sure many people have heard of similar things, but the reason I think it works better than most like philosophy formulas, those pyramids of success kind of things, is because you can really implement it based on any aspect of a business, a book, your personal life, anything. And it starts on two simple ideas, which are the causes, which is your philosophy and your purpose, which is what do I believe about X, which is whatever that company is, whatever that vision is, and then your purpose, why. It's always the asking, like, what's the purpose of why do you do it? Like, why do you believe X?
Right.
Those are the causes that are about to exemplify your effect, which is three different forms that will what's the word? Manifest. I guess that's a better word. Mm-hmm. Three different manifestations that will come through, which is psychology, your physical and emotional feelings of what you feel, how you hold yourself up, your posture, your pose, everything like that. Your procedure, which I was talking on before you got here. I was just doing a small recording on my phone so I could remember what I was saying.
Cool.
And the procedure is pretty interesting. And my dad uses a GPS effect. So like the GPS is like a navigation system, as we all know. And sometimes we don't like Siri as our GPS, but you know, because she says turn left and it's like, oh wait, right here, okay.
Yeah. That's why I use Waze.
Way better. But anyway, so the procedure I want to do with the business is pretty unique, because I think once we have our philosophy of what we believe about whatever that vision is, our procedure will just naturally and instinctively happen, but we have to be open to the idea that there's not a one set way. As in, if I was going to go from here to my house, I know there's about 800 different roads that'll take me there. One will take me there in the fastest amount of time, one will take me there around the world and then back. So if that analogy doesn't make sense, basically there's a million ways to get to the same destination. And you have to be open to the fact that sometimes there'll be a dead end at one of the ways and you have to make a U-turn, right? But it doesn't say you can't get there. It just says rerouting. So you know what I mean? Like, you just have to change your plan, shift a little bit, right? So the same thing with your procedure in life or business or whatever it is that you're doing. Those are going to be results and actions that you're going to be taking throughout your life, throughout your business, throughout your book, whatever it is that you're doing. But you might not always know the outcome, or you might not always know how you're going to get there. So you have to be open to, I think you and I have talked about this before.
Yeah, we have.
Just getting into the flow and allowing that flow to happen.
Right.
I gave an example earlier about how I went to college, didn't love it, but I got a job at Waterway, which is a car wash. From car wash, some guy picked me up to work at a roofing company because they liked my sales. Did amazing in sales to the point where I said, all right, I don't even want to do roofing anymore. I like this idea of real estate. And I got into my own real estate investment company, and now here we are.
Yes.
So I didn't know that I loved real estate, but I love the idea of business networking and exemplifying other people's strengths and niches and showing that's their calling.
So, I love it. And just so everybody knows, we're in a coffee shop.
All right.
We're at Starbucks in Westport Plaza and here in Missouri, so it's really cool. Great place to meet. And one of the things I thought of when you were talking was,
Please, go for it.
So you talked about U-turns, and it immediately made me think of one of my favorite books, which is very Stoic type thinking.
Okay.
So there's one, Meditations from Marcus Aurelius. I shared that the other day with you.
You did.
Which is can be a bit of a tough read, but the one that I think is a little easier, that I really have taken drew a lot of my regular habits or disciplines from, my daily habits, if you will, which you kind of spoke to your psychology,
right.
not
How
just
do you
your
feel
thinking.
every day?
How do you feel? What do you act on?
Right. The people you surround yourself with.
Exactly. So his book by Brian Holiday is The Obstacle is the Way. So
I've heard of that.
Great read, great listen, but great thinking around it, and it really shaped a lot of my thinking today, as well as Marcus Aurelius, of course.
That's really smart, because like what I was saying is a U-turn is that might be the only answer, but you're right. That obstacle that's in that way might be the only way.
Yeah.
That you have to get over it.
Exactly. Well, and I think you exemplify that with Take Your Flip, right?
Right.
It's
God.
not your first flip, right? It's not a normal property, and you had a lot of obstacles. You had one, your perceived obstacle of your age, and then no money,
No money.
and then no money again,
No money again.
and then no partners to fulfill, and so there's all those obstacles. But
Right.
what I think you found is that because of that obstacle, you just kept dripping on it until it was the last drop that cracked open the stone or
Exactly.
the boulder, or
It's like you can't go over, you can't go around it. Can you go through it? Can you go to the side? Can you go to the left? Can you go this way? I mean,
Right.
you got to find every option.
And I know from you, Nick, in your actions, it's just you just take a lot of massive action until you're going to figure it out eventually.
Exactly.
So-
And that's part of the procedure, like I was saying. You know you're going to get there.
Exactly.
And it doesn't always matter. I mean, sometimes it does, yes. I mean, you're going to have to say no a lot of the time, but your actions is, and how you get to those actions and your results is not always dictated on what you desired first and foremost, because it might not be God's plan for that. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, I did not think that I would be doing a new development at my age right now with the quote-unquote lack of experience, but my confidence level and the fact that I know that I can team up with the right people, surround myself with the right psychology of a mentality, I can do anything at any time. And there was a 5-year goal that happened in 9 months.
Nice.
So like that same aspect of when you want something, you put it out there, it will happen.
Yeah.
You don't know how always, and you don't always know when.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't matter, because the overall goal is then you become to your prosperity and your abundance. And that looks different for everybody, but at the same time, when you know your vision, you follow the steps first and foremost. Don't reverse it. A lot of people see the abundance and like, yes, that's what I want. Now, how do I
Right.
get there? Here. All right, what do I feel when I do it? Okay, cool. Why do I want to do it? And then you're going backwards, because if you do it that way, you're going to miss a step.
Yeah, another way to say that is it's a be, do, have conversation versus a have, do, be. It's like,
That's it, yep.
I have to have the money before I feel like I am wealthy and happy.
Mm-hmm.
Versus, I'm happy and wealthy now, and all my actions are aligned with that, and then there's a result.
Exactly. That's like the philosophy. It's like, I am
Exactly.
happy now about whatever. But that's
And I
what
shared you a little bit about Landmark Education,
Right.
And that's where, like, I heard that in other places, like, Robert Kiyosaki talks about it, and it's not like, Think and Grow Rich talks about it,
Right.
But where I really got to practice it was at Landmark, so that's where that came from. So let me pause this a moment.